Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Friday, November the 1st, 2024. Friday, November the 1st. Well, they rounded out the week or finished up the week of emotionally with Sam. They did a very, very good job once again this whole week. General Hospital writers knocked this out of the park the whole week. Excellent job. Um, Now Dante's saying, wait a minute. What are you saying, Alexis? What about Sam? And Alexis looks and she goes, Sam's dead. She didn't make it. And Dante's like, no, no, no. I was just with, she was happy. She was looking great. She was feeling great. He was there with her yesterday, right? When he proposed to her. And he goes, what happened? And Rocco was like, wait, what? You know, and he's like, what happened? And Alexis looks at Portia. And actually, what happened is when Dante was saying, what are you saying? What happened to her? Laura and Sonny were getting off the elevator. And all she could see was Alexis had her back to, um, yeah, because Portia, when he said, what happened to her? Laura and Sonny hadn't gotten there. So Portia was trying to explain she had a heart attack. And he goes, no, no, how could that be? No, there's no way. And at that point, Laura and Sonny are coming off the elevator. Alexis is back. She's facing the nurse's station. And Laura's looking at Dante's face. She's looking at Rocco. She said, what's happening? What's going on here? What's going on here? He said, Lulu. That's the first thing coming out of her, which naturally she would think so. And Alexis turns around and Alexis said, no, it's not Lulu. Sam is dead. My daughter is dead. And Laura was like, and Sonny's like, oh my God, right? And Laura's like, how could that be? And so I don't know. It's interesting now that they're going with the heart attack scenario, right? Because remember, Alexis, her accounting of what happened was Sam was happy, she was talking, and then just all of a sudden she couldn't breathe. Machines going off, she lost consciousness. Well, a heart attack, I've never had one, but there was no clutching of her chest. There was no, I mean, to me, Sam would have reacted differently to a heart attack. When Portia initially said an embolism, I could have bought because, depending on where, silent killer, right? Depending on what happened, right? I mean, I don't know. Heart attack, that is definitely going to raise some eyebrows. If they're going to make it like Sam was killed, then somebody gave her medication to stop her heart, to make her go into cardiac arrest, right? I don't know how they're going to, I read that on one of those little soap opera, whatever. We'll see. Come on now. It's a long way to go for that. But anyway, so Laura is crying. And she said, Alexis, I am so sorry for you. I am so, and Alexis is just looking at her. This was not supposed to happen. And Alexis is like, no, it wasn't supposed to happen. You know. So they're all sitting down on the couches, and Sonny, go, wait, Laura said something, and she could kind of feel Alexis tensing up. And Laura looked at Rocco. because Dante was ready to just lose it. And she goes, come on, honey, let's go to the chapel and pray. And Rocco says, no, I want to stay with dad. I want to stay with dad. And Dante says, go with your grandmother, son. Go with your grandmother. So Rocco gets up and they go into the church, and they had a couple of scenes where they were bawling their eyes out in that chapel. Laura, I mean, of course, the distraughtness was genuine. I mean, she liked Sam. Sam was doing something good for her daughter. Even though Sam knew Lulu, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Laura, it was genuine with Laura, right? So Sonny comes and he sits down next to Alexis and he goes, if there's anything I can do, anything, Alexis. And she stands up and she says, I've got to tell Christina and Molly. And she just looks. And so Alexis leaves. So Sonny is going and he's trying to console Dante, and Dante's like, no, I got to go see Sam. So he goes in and he sees Sam, and he's, bawling, and, Sam, I don't know if I could do this without you, you know, say, just pouring his heart out, to her. No flashback scenes with them because they haven't been together that long. The history was Jason and Sam, right? So Jason had texted Carly and she rushed over to Bobby's and she says, what's going on, Jason? What? I got here as fast as I could. And she looked in his face and his eyes were watery, and she goes, what's going on? What happened? And he goes, Sam's dead. And Carly's like, wait, no, what? How? And he goes, she had a heart attack. She goes, how could she have a heart? So Carly reacted, which, I mean, it was genuine shock. And he says, I'm supposed to meet, Danny took Scout trick-or-treating. And he told her the whole story, how he, took them to the hospital, but as soon as he saw Alexis's face, he knew something was wrong. So he sent them over to Bobby's. And then he goes, Danny said he was going to take Scout trick-or-treating. I told him I would meet them both back here. He goes, I gotta. And she goes, you have to tell him. And he said, yes. And I don't know how. And so she goes, Drew. Or Jason said, Drew needs to know. And Carly said, I will tell Drew. I will handle Drew. So Carly leaves. She goes to the Quartermains. Drew got that little busted side, bruised side lip. And he goes, Carly, what's going on? She goes, I need to talk to you. I have to talk to you. And they're in that foyer area. And she goes, can we go inside? Can we go somewhere private? And Drew said, nobody's here. This is private. And so he goes, what's happening, Carly? What's going on? And she said, Sam is dead. And Drew was like, wait, what? She goes, Sam is dead. She had a heart attack after the surgery. Because he goes, she came through the surgery fine. She goes, yes, and she had a heart attack. She says, I was talking to Lucas on my way over here, and he is beside himself because she came through the surgery fine. He doesn't know what happened, right? So she and Drew end up going inside the living area, sitting down and talking. And I don't want to hear it. I fast forward. I don't care about Drew, And because he goes, where's my daughter? And she's like, told him Jason is waiting for them at Bobby's. Danny took Scout trick-or-treating and Jason's going to tell them. So Carly and Drew are still there. And in my mind, I'm thinking, no, I'm going to my daughter right now. Because when Carly's talking to Drew, Well, no, Jason, Danny and Scout did come. So yeah, they could have missed each other. So it would was best for him to stay home. But I would have wanted to be there to grab my child, right? So she came running into the house and she wanted to go to the hospital. Because when Jason told them, and she goes, no, no, no. Mommy's part was the easy part. The piece of mommy's liver that they took is gonna grow back. No, no. Mommy said she would be fine. And she goes, and she did come through the surgery fine, but something happened, you know. And so she goes, no, I want to go see mommy. I want to see mommy. And Danny's looking at Jason and he's teary-eyed, right? But to me, Rocco was more broken up than Danny. But Danny is a different kind of, you know, he's got a different kind of personality. He's hurt. You in turn just, but Danny is more like Jason, holds it in a lot, right? He's probably gonna start rebelling big time. Scout too. I don't know what because look, is Drew gonna be around? Drew's gonna need to drop out the race, right? Because his daughter doesn't have a mother anymore. He's gonna, and this is probably what he is gonna do. He's gonna drop out the race. So, needless to say, Jason says, no, I can't take you to the hospital because what you're remembering of your mom, the way she smiled at you, the way she hugs you, the way she looks at you, that's not there, Scout. What you know of your mom is, she goes, well, where is she? Jason goes, she's in heaven. And Danny looked at him like, okay. you know, I don't know if we were particularly religious, but yeah, okay, okay, that sounds good, you know. And she goes, all those great qualities. She goes, but you're gonna feel the love that your mother felt for you. You're gonna carry that around with you. You're gonna have that, right? So anyway, Jason took them to the Quartermains, and soon as Scout burst through the door, she ran to her father, and she goes, "Mommy's dead, Mommy's dead." And he goes, "I know, honey, I know." And he's hugging Scout, and Jason hugs Danny, and Carly is just looking, at Jason and Danny, and her heart's going out to them. So, you know, that's how they dealt with that. Now, Holly and Robert had a conversation that guess what I did? Fast forward. I didn't care. Fast forwarded that whole thing. It's waste of time, waste of space. So Molly and Christina both had the same idea. Bringing things that Christina would need, I mean, that Sam would need. But Molly is more the practical one, right? Molly came in and because Molly had done research on the right kind of foods to help to promote healthier healings for liver donation. She did a whole lot, right? Christina, on the other hand, but I don't minimize what Christina did, but Christina bought her two big old bags of Halloween candy. Like, yeah, she don't need to eat that, girl, right? And she brought her a brand new pair of soft pajamas. See, and Molly was even a little impressed. She goes, and I bought her some slippers for her feet. And she bought her two novels to read from Sam's favorite author. So Molly says, okay, that was thoughtful. Okay, that's we're thoughtful. But then when she pulled out the two big old bags of candy, Molly says, Christina, did you read the email that I sent you on what Sam should be eating and the things she should stay away from while she's, healing, recuperating? Well, no, I didn't get a chance to read the email. And Molly says, well, of course you didn't. Of course you couldn't take the time to read something on the things you should do and can do to help Sam, of course not. You just flew off of the top of your head like you always do. Oh, so they start arguing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And Alexis is walking up to the door. She's getting ready to put the key in, and she could hear them just going at it. And Molly is like, I ordered a housekeeping service for her so she doesn't have to worry about it. And all the things Molly did were like primo thinking things, right? And she goes, oh, of course, of course. You always think of the best things to do. Oh, and Alexis walks in the door. And they're still just arguing, don't even really notice her. So she kind of slams the keys on the desk by the door, but not slam them hard, but she just like drops them. And she goes, that's enough. And they turn and they look, Mom. And they see her face. She goes, that is just enough, you two. And they're like, okay, what's going on? And she walks over slow. And she goes, come and sit down. And Christina's like, oh no, just whatever you got to say, just say it. Goes, come and sit down, Christina. So she grabs both of their hands and she said, Sam died. And Molly is like, and Christina's like, she snatches her hand out of her mother's hand. No, no, no. That is not what happened. She goes, I'm sorry, both of you. Christina, honey, Sam died. She didn't make it. Oh, not she didn't make it, she died, right? Because she made it through the surgery. And so Molly said, or Christina, one of the two, said, what happened? And Alexis says, she had a heart attack. And Molly is like, how can someone as healthy as Sam have a heart attack? And Christina's like, no, no, you know. And so Alexis says, I don't know, but it happened. So she reaches up for Christina's hand and she pulls her back down, to the couch. And both of them, Molly and Christina, their eyes kind of catch each other, but they're both just grief stricken, tear. And Alexis just put her arms around both of them and hugged them both really tight as she is trying to stay strong for them. See, because at this point, at the hospital, she could be all over the place, yelling at everybody, right? Portia, she didn't yell at Laura, but she was on the verge. She was on the verge. Laura showed the ample amount of tears for Alexis not to jump all down her throat, right? The one thing she did say to Dante as she walked past him to leave, she goes, thank you for loving my daughter and being in her life. And she, walked out and left. So now I do believe this is going to end up being the turning point for Molly and Christina. They're going to probably call a truce. They're not going to instantly now be in love with each other, but they're both going to feel so guilty because they were so enthralled in their own bitterness and semi growing into hatred for each other. They were not there for Sam in the least. They weren't there at all for their sister. And the thing is, they're going to have to carry that guilt. Because, see, remember, Sam did not want them there before her surgery because she couldn't take their arguing and the stress. So they're going to remember. They're going to remember that, their actions. So anyway, everybody, we had 76 comments in Comment Corner, 72 comments. I'm not going to read them tonight. Monday, I am going to get back to Comment Corner. But yeah, General Hospital is really, really good. excellent job. You all are doing a phenomenal job with Comment Corner, talking to each other and sharing the things that you want to share. Please keep that up because, we're all in shock here. And I mean, we're all feeling not in shock. We knew it was going to happen, but we're all feeling a certain something, something, a certain way, right? Man. So everyone have a phenomenal weekend.